Hello and welcome. Hi, I'm author Grace Rolson, and I'm here to give you three of my keys to detach from an alcoholic. So, this will be part one. This will be in two videos so that you can listen to part one and continue to part two. So, welcome to my work. This is the three keys that I have with some bonus keys to detach from the alcoholic to save your sanity and your life. I'm the author of several books, including the award winning So You Love an Alcoholic, full of powerful insights, lessons learned. I encourage you to pick that up on Amazon and read my introduction, or find my YouTube channel to listen to the introduction for free. So, three keys for detaching from the alcoholic to save your sanity and possibly even your life. Do you want to stop the pain, the self harm, the headaches, the hurt? Are you ready to take responsibility for yourself and start healing? Are you ready to restore yourself to peace and any lost sanity? Just a full disclaimer, I'm not a therapist, so this is not advice. I'm a survivor. This is my survivor wisdom. So please take what's helpful and leave the rest. And if there's children involved or a custody case, make sure you're doing things in a safe way with legal guidance. Or if this is a unsafe situation and the alcoholic is abusive, make sure you get some DV support. I'll have that in the link below. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can pause. If you're listening to this on my podcast, welcome. I'm here to help you learn, heal, and outgrow a toxic, alcoholic, codependent relationship. And if you are willing and ready to learn, I am here to teach and mentor. My books have all of my best wisdom. So, my first book is So You Love an Alcoholic, Lessons for a Codependent. It's the powerful lessons I learned loving an alcoholic. Just think, what are you learning? I'm sure there's a lot to learn. It's my courageous story of how I saved my own life. It's my awakenings. It's really my secrets. So you can grab onto some of those secrets and store them in your mind for when and if they're going to be helpful. So take what you like, leave the rest. My second book is I Loved an Alcoholic but Hated the Drinking, 11 Essential Strategies to Survive Codependency and Live in Recovery with Self-Love. So that's my first two books of loving an alcoholic. My third book is Loving an Alcoholic Without Losing Yourself, using the self-love solution to break free. All of my books are on Amazon. I now write for mothers, co-parenting, forced to co-parent with a narcissist, or stuck in high conflict custody battles. So my books are available on Amazon. Have you ever asked yourself these questions? Where did I go? Do you feel like you've lost yourself in the relationship with the alcoholic? Have you ever asked yourself, do my wants and needs matter to my partner at all? Have you ever asked, is there a better life for me than this lonely, painful life with an alcoholic? If you're asking yourself these questions, then I ask you, do you want to stop the pain, heal from hurt and betrayal, restore your self respect, gain your sanity back, create some inner peace? Welcome to my work. Keep listening, keep watching, and remember to take what you like and leave the rest. Are you toxically attached to the sick and suffering alcoholic? If you're a woman who loves an alcoholic man, you may be toxically attached. You may also have an unhealthy attachment to the outcome of the relationship. Not all relationships survive years of pain and betrayals. The fact is, not all relationships are worth saving. Some relationships actually need to end and dissolve because it's unhealthy for both people to continue. Is it time to get real with yourself about your relationship? Have you codependently collapsed your life into the alcoholic's life and his problems? Are you ready to step into self saving solutions? What becomes painfully clear is that when we attach to something like the alcoholic, we suffer. Even Buddha taught this principle. Sometimes we consider our relationship like an investment that needs to pay out and benefit us since we put so much hard work into it. Sometimes we honor vows to another over the responsibility to ourselves to self protect. Rather than admit the relationship with the alcoholic has become unhealthy, we argue with ourselves to stay, citing how many years we've invested in a person. We have built a dream and entangled our lives, families, holidays, and living situations with the alcoholic, making it hard to walk away from those precious years of our lives. We might be afraid of the loneliness we will face. We might be terrified to end up alone and heartbroken. We might be afraid that we will never recover. We might think we can't make it financially on our own. Many of us even fear the social shame and stigma of a relationship failure. The truth is that sometimes things, especially dysfunctional things, need to fail. Failure can be a gift. Some things in life actually need to fall apart so we can rebuild them from scratch with better material. Sometimes we need to reinvent ourselves and change our lifestyle, career, and life goals, or create some goals. Sometimes the foundation under our feet is too unstable and we need to stand elsewhere. I say, sure, you love an alcoholic, but is it time to love yourself more? Mistakenly, many of us claim ownership of the alcoholic and relationship and feel it's our job to fix everything, including him. But is he really ours? Or does he truly belong to himself? Are we even able to fix another person? If we fix the alcoholic's life temporarily, doesn't he live his life and ruin things again? As a result of being over responsible, we may suffer a complex blend of compulsions to fix, save, and rescue, obsessions of the alcoholic, unearned guilt, and face our cognitive dissonance. This can be internally complex, and we may argue both sides of staying and going or leaving. Our faulty thinking leads us into confusion and can paralyze us in a way from making new healthy decisions. Overthinking things can be a stumbling block. We may just have to choose what's healthy for ourselves and keep it that simple. Detachment is a form of separating. So we get a chance to see the situation, relationship, and ourselves clearly. We may, we ha- might have become unreasonable. So we have to become reasonable and start applying common sense and logic to our relationship. Having unreasonable expectations of an active, unreliable alcoholic leads us deep into disappointment. Caving into compulsions to be the alcoholic's caretaker often leads us to more disappointment and an intense focus on the alcoholic. By focusing on the alcoholic so much, we lose sight of ourselves completely. Allowing ourselves to cave into codependency is more than just a bad habit. It becomes an unhealthy pattern in our subconscious mind and then runs our entire lives. We come up against ourselves when we need to make serious changes in our lives. We come up against our fears. So, some of us might even have to face problematic trauma bonds, love addiction, not just codependency, but also face childhood abandonment fears, all of which can be very tough to break free from. The pain of a codependent alcoholic relationship that's gone on for too long can turn into our new pain filled normal. We may get seriously stuck. We might feel very stuck. We may be in so much fear and pain that we can't face the death of the relationship, even though the love has died years ago, and even if there's so much disrespect. So, sadly, we start to live out our lives with the alcoholic, quote unquote, in love, and that can turn into living in hate. It's sad to watch. As we spend all of our energy worrying about the alcoholic in our life, we don't often see what's happening to us. We matter too, and we need some focus on ourselves. If love is a choice, we can stop loving the alcoholic to our detriment the way we've been loving him and start loving ourselves. This is a personal revolution. We can love ourselves to a happy life, but it starts with detachment so we can get some much needed self love. If you're wondering if you have codependency issues, you can pick up any of my books to find my 30 signs and symptoms of codependency, or find that on my website and my blog. Detachment is the key to your freedom. Detachment can be key to recovering your sanity, coping with chaos, and surviving the progression of a partner's alcoholism. More so, it can stop codependency from creeping into our lives and taking over. Too much victimization can lead to a very unhealthy victim mentality. If we stand in the same place, being victimized by the same situation, by the same person, then we mistakenly start to contribute to our own victimization. When practicing detachment, we get a chance to break off of the fixation on the alcoholic, come up for oxygen, and see ourselves. We get a chance to feel our feelings, face our losses and grief, heal our hurts, overcome our pain, and transform our circumstances. Even if the alcoholic caused the hurt, we are responsible for healing and dealing with our own pain. We must take responsibility for our healing journey and not hope for the alcoholic to repair our broken hearts. This is actually how trauma bonds are created. Detachment gives us some separation from the problems so we can see solutions. No, detaching is an act of self love. Detachment gives us some separation from the problems so that we can actually get a chance to see solutions. When we're in the problem, we're so overwhelmed, we can only see more of the problem. Detachment is a form of separation, but an easier first step is to just see yourself as separate. You don't have to take drastic action unless that's what's needed or called for in your situation. You can plan, pre-plan, strategize, and build a foundation of support before being brave and acting boldly on your behalf. You can gather courage through connection with others who have faced the dilemma of an alcoholic marriage or the destruction of a relationship due to a drinking problem. You can hear stories of strength, take away some hope, and learn how they overcame it. Detachment is a powerful tool and often the first step in a healing direction. If you need to learn ways to break trauma bonds, find my 200 ways to break trauma bonds on my blog, on my website. You can watch that video, get out your journal, and start taking some notes. Detaching is a choice. It's a choice we can make consciously for our own benefit. It is a life skill that we need to practice and learn. First, we start by being willing to detach, even if just a little. By detaching, we recover energy for ourselves and our life. We give ourselves a chance to feel joy and happiness again when we're not attached to the problems. Because we can make healthy, mature decisions even if the alcoholic can't or won't. We can get help even if the alcoholic doesn't or refuses. We can stop contributing to the hardships in life. We can move on past problems and step towards solutions. We can heal even if the alcoholic doesn't make this choice for himself. We matter too, and our choices matter. Painful attachments to the alcoholic leads to problems. The fact is, it's painful to be attached to an active alcoholic. It hurts to be hooked on someone that causes continual unhappiness and disappointment. We can't blame the alcohol for everything. It's sad to witness another's depression and self harm. It can be infuriating to watch someone lie to themselves that they don't have a problem. Being enmeshed with a sick and suffering alcoholic is unhealthy even to the healthiest of us. Being exposed to continual disrespect shatters both self worth and self esteem. Watching someone's downfall and depression is also very depressing to us. Being connected in any way to someone who lies, criticizes, and gaslights us is not good for our mental health. Nor is it good to be too close to someone who's chronically negative or acting narcissistically. Manipulation and crazy making can cause feelings of insanity in caring partners like us who are just trying to help. The truth is, liars can't be trusted no matter how much they apologize when caught. Promises from liars to be truthful can't be relied on. Us using denial to believe in alcoholics' lies and subscribing to the lies diminishes us. If we do this, we not only lose trust in the alcoholic, but also in ourselves. A relationship that has any of these elements is harmful, unhealthy, and needs an intervention. Toxic, codependent alcoholic relationships often need to be completely stopped because it's actually abusive in nature. We must face the facts. Not all relationships can be healed. When only one of us is doing the necessary, honest self work to better our lives while the other loafs, lies, and denies problems, is not a healthy partnership. I'd argue it's not even a partnership. We can't carry relationships solely on our backs. It takes two committed, loving, caring, responsible, accommodating, communicating people to engage in a healthy relationship. If one person refuses to communicate, then we can't relate. If we do most of the giving and the alcoholic does most of the taking, it's not balanced and resentment will brew. What can we do when we find ourselves in a relationship with an alcoholic that's unhealthy and one sided? We can detach. We can exercise our right to detach mentally, emotionally, psychologically, sometimes physically, and spiritually. When holding on doesn't help the relationship and is not healthy, it's often critical to detach to save ourselves. Toxic relationships can be life threatening, even to the caring codependent who doesn't have a substance use disorder. The bottom line is we must practice self preservation. In the long run, holding on tightly doesn't save the alcoholic or the relationship. Investing more time, energy, and resources doesn't always pay out. If we continue in the toxic relationship, we can lose more precious years of our lives while becoming more unhealthy. There can be more years of pain ahead to those of us who hold on with a tight grip. That's the reality. Holding on can drain us in more ways than one, crippling us emotionally while simultaneously suffocating the relationship. In hopes of remaining attached, we might do all kinds of self sabotaging behavior. We might lose our common sense and logic and insist that we get a healthy, happy relationship from an ill, sick, addicted, alcohol obsessed man. Sometimes it can even destroy our physical health to keep holding on to the alcoholic or our demands. The bottom line is we can't get a healthy relationship from an unhealthy, active alcoholic. If it's time for you to detach and survive, listen or read my 3 keys, which are based on my 15-year relationship with an alcoholic and over 20 plus years in the Al Anon recovery program. For over a decade now, I am happily detached and living my life free of an alcoholic relationship, free of someone else's alcoholism, free of an alcoholic codependent relationship. I'm out of the toxic relationship. I stepped into the solutions of self care, self love, and self partnering. I saved my life with detachment, and you can too. Learn how I detach with love and make sure you read my disclaimer. Self care is not selfish. So, look for video number 2 for my 3 keys for detaching from an alcoholic to save your sanity, because the part 2 video has 3 keys and some bonus keys. So, we are learning from our mistakes. Remember, mistakes are for learning. If you're listening to this, you've taken a first step into helping get the right healthy mindsets. So, if you love an alcoholic and this is your situation, I'm glad you're here. You can courageously place yourself in the center of your own life. We don't have to spend our entire lifetime suffering unloved, unfulfilled lives without self respect or self love. We can have shifts in our thinking, beliefs, and mindsets that contribute to making better choices or discovering our choices. Most importantly, there can be lessons learned. Then, with solid recovery and support, healing can happen with courage through connection, knowledge, and wisdom. Our happiness is on the other side of this self work, and I call it soul work. And remember, self work is some of the most important work we will ever do. We can learn, heal, and outgrow a toxic relationship. You can read my 25 powerful lessons in my first book, So You Love an Alcoholic. You're welcome to come to my blog. Use the drop down arrow to get to the right blog, because you can break free of codependency forever. My lessons in my first book are very helpful insights. You might have to learn the same lessons. And I do have new resources like how to heal from narcissistic abuse, my tips, guidance, keys to healing, because healing can happen for you. You can heal an Al-Anon program, the CODA program, the ACOA program. You can heal from narcissistic abuse and trauma bonds. Look for my 200 ways to break trauma bonds and get your journal out. It's in a PDF. It's also in a video. So, if you're healing from narcissistic abuse, or you don't know if the alcoholic is a covert narcissist or a narcissist with a personality disorder, you may want to do your research, because healing from narcissistic abuse is very tricky, just like healing from any type of abuse or complex PTSD. You can come to my Substack. I have a free newsletter. If you come to my website, you'll find my Loving an Alcoholic to Finally Loving Ourselves free newsletter. And you can like and subscribe. This will be in a free podcast version too on this Substack newsletter. You can like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm really here to help mentor women who love an alcoholic to loving and respecting themselves. And just remember, these are helpful tips based slowly on my thoughts and opinions. I'm not a qualified mental health professional or a crisis caseworker. I can't give legal advice or appropriate counsel. So I'm not able to work with crisis situations in any professional capacity. This is my survivor story. Take what you like, what could be helpful, and use your own good judgment. Only you know what you can do. If you have children in this situation, as I ended up having a child with the alcoholic, and you end up in a family court battle, just know that I have 5 more books for mothers going through that experience. And remember that this is copyright protected. Please don't sell or quote without permission. Want to make sure I'm giving the right message of peace and hope for women. And my newest book is Tame the Narcissist, which has 10 keys for better co-parenting to create peace and protection using strategy and skillful means. So please check the link and description for links to the first book, So You Love an Alcoholic, because this one is one of the last books that I wrote. And if you want more videos, go through my YouTube channel and find the free chapters of So You Love an Alcoholic, my first book. That way you can listen and see what the message is. Because if you're willing to learn, heal, and grow, you can move into happiness and freedom. So be willing to learn the lesson and change what you can. Thank you so much for listening and watching to this first part. Please find video number 2 so that you actually hear the 3 keys and the bonus keys to detaching from the alcoholic. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.